Hey, what's going on, everybody? Craig with Shipley Transport, driving around doing a little bit of quick maintenance and wanted to touch base with everybody. First of all, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for coming back. We're up to over 150 subscribers already, barely a month old, and that's a big thanks to everybody on here. So thank you again very much. Just like always, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe. Helps the channel keep growing, lets everybody know where we're at and how to find the information a little bit easier. So today we are going to be talking about, I guess, a hot topic button, but one thing I want to try to stress to everybody that's getting into the business, you'll see it preached over and over and over again, but don't haul cheap freight. That one sentence is thrown around like nobody's business. And it's accurate. You should not haul cheap freight. The thing that I want to talk about is the subjectivity of that phrase. So, at the end of the day, what is cheap freight? Is cheap freight $1 a mile? Is cheap freight only cheap when it's 50 cents a mile? Is cheap freight only cheap if it's less than $2 a mile? All of that is 100% up to you. What you consider cheap freight has a lot of different factors, including your operating costs, your overall overhead for the payment with your truck, trailer, any other insurances that you may have, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to tell you how we, with my company, have found a way to, one, not haul anything we consider cheap freight, and two, be profitable with nearly everything we do. I won't say 100% because every time I've said 100% in the past, I've been completely wrong. So every load that we book for my company is booked as a HotShot load. We are not general freight haulers. We are not miniature flatbed haulers. We are a HotShot company. So again, I run non-CDL. If you've watched previous videos, I haul anything up to about 35 feet and up to roughly 10,000 pounds. I don't care if that load is 35 feet, 10,000 pounds, or if that load is a 4x4 pallet that's 500 pounds. I'm gonna quote it as a HotShot rate. So what it's gonna take for my truck and trailer and the commodity to go from point A to point B as fast as legally possible. I don't do partials. There's a lot of guys out there that'll do partials. There's a lot of guys out there that's successful, guys and girls. First of all, I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but there's a lot of guys and girls out there that will do partials, and they will do so extremely effectively. That is not me and my business model. I personally have not been able to run partials on a regular basis and be as profitable as I have been running it my way. So I'm not trying to downplay how anybody else runs their business either. I'm not trying to say that I'm doing it better. I'm telling you what I'm successful with. So again, it doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter the quantity or anything like that. I'm quoting it as a dedicated rate. I'm quoting it point A to point B as fast as possible. So while I do that, there are a lot of brokers that flat out laugh at me. If they got a 4x4 pallet that they're trying to get to go 500 miles for less than 500 bucks or whatever, that's up to them. But if I call and they give me that rate, all right, it's not going to work for me, and explain to them why, they laugh at me and hang up, and that's fine. They don't want to pay for a HotShot rate. So for me to get my truck and trailer down the road, to pay for the fuel, to pay for the truck payment, trailer payment, insurance, business expenses, the load boards and things like that, and breakdowns, I have a separate account set up just for breakdowns. For me to do all of that before I pay myself anything, this truck costs 98 cents per mile to go down the road if I'm able to average roughly 10 miles to the gallon. If I get 10 miles to the gallon, I can get down the road at 98 cents a mile. Now, some people are like, say, I see the phrase all the time, okay, all I needed was fuel money to get home. I personally disagree. Again, this is my opinion, but I disagree. I don't want to just be able to pay for stuff to go down the road. I don't want to just be able to break even. For me, again, to go down the road, my truck takes 98 cents. So for me to go down the road at anything under $1.50 a mile is pure crazy. Because I can get a CDL and go work for Prime, go work for Swift, go work for whomever of the major carriers at 50 to 60 cents a mile. I can do that with zero overhead. I can do that with zero extra headaches or hassles of being a business owner. I can literally just go get in a truck, have somebody tell me what to do. They book my freight. I do what they say, and I make 50 to 60 cents a mile. I don't have to worry about any special tax categories. I don't have to worry about any of that. So at that point, if it costs my truck roughly 98 cents per mile just to go down the road, pay for maintenance, pay for all that stuff that I listed previously, what am I worth sitting in the seat to haul their freight? Again, if I wanted to only make 50 or 60 cents a mile, I could go out and work for one of the major carriers and not have all the expenses of being a business owner. I could not have the threat of a breakdown and having to come out of pocket for thousands of dollars. I could, again, not have the threat of something small happening on the road. My trailer kick up a rock, and next thing you know, somebody's trying to claim an insurance claim because it smacked their windshield. All the different things that are involved with being a business owner, I could do without all that stuff and make 50 or 60 cents a mile. So for me, on a pride and on a profitability standpoint, what I look for is $1 a mile. Because if I can make 50 to 60 cents a mile without worrying about all that stuff, having to do my own maintenance, having to book my own freight, having to control everything, to me, it's worth $1 a mile for me, my expertise, and my abilities, and my butt to be sitting in this seat. So when I say don't haul cheap freight for my company, less than $1.80 a mile is crazy. The thing that each of you guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and everything else need to think about when somebody says don't haul cheap freight, it's not just fuel money to get home. It's not just, well, that'll get me to another good spot. Again, this is all my opinion. In my opinion, if you're hauling for less than $2 a mile on a dedicated truckload, I personally think you're crazy. And that number, as long as fuel's going to keep going up, that number is going to continue to do the exact same thing. So for me, when I say don't haul cheap freight, I don't want to see anything on my trailer less than $2 a mile. Now, there are days I've ran for $1.50 a mile because I'm out in Phoenix or I'm out in Denver, or one of the areas that we all know is historically terrible for freight. There are also times, last week, just for a very brief example, I did just over 2,000 loaded miles. My loaded mile per average on a non-CDL setup, nothing overly large. If you go to our Facebook page, I put up pictures at the end of every week of all of our loads. I averaged $2.41 per loaded mile. Now, does that happen every day? Absolutely not. I'm not going to promise you the moon. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be a millionaire by doing it this way. That's not me. But it's out there. Get some of your own direct customers and clients. Get some of the preferred brokers to work with. So, we all know brokers have to make a piece of the pie. There are brokerage companies out there that preach to make 50% of whatever the customer's spending on shipping. And there are people that we just don't want to work with as far as brokers. But once you find those couple of brokers, especially if they're freight out of your local area, that treat you right, pay you well, and are willing to have a good attitude and work with you on a regular basis, save that contact, make as many positive contacts as you can so that they call you directly. So again, I'm not going to say that it's all the time, all day, every day. I've run for terrible rates. I've run because I need to pay bills and things like that. At the end of the day, what I want to see everybody out there do is find out what your truck costs to go down the road. Build a savings account because stuff will break. These machines are made by humans. Humans are inherently imperfect. We're not perfect beings. As much as I love to claim to be, as much as my wife knows that she is, apparently there's a semi that decided he didn't want to stop at a stop sign. Oh, the joys of not being a professional editor. This will be in the video. But machines, again, are inherently not perfect. Humans aren't perfect. We make machines. Machines are going to break. So have yourself a savings account. Know what it costs with that savings account to go down the road for your machine, with fuel, with maintenance, with all of your costs of doing business in mind. And then the thing that I want to stress to everybody is value yourselves. You are worth something as an owner-operator or as a business owner, sitting in that seat, getting your truck down the road. You are worth something. Find out what that value is to you. Once you put those numbers together, follow your business model. If you're a person that likes to put parcels together, by all means, I'm not telling you that's the wrong way to do business. Do it. Put those parcels together, but make sure once everything's on your trailer, you're making the rate that you have set as a profitable margin, and don't haul cheap. I'm done with my rant and rave for the day, guys. I really appreciate your time. Just like always, please like, share, subscribe. If you like the comment, share with others. It really helps the channel grow, helps me get what I consider to be positive information out there. And just like we started out the video with, don't haul cheap freight. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.